It's that time again for the assault on your ears we call Lower Dorks, a Star Trek Lower Decks podcast. I'm Aaron, and with me as always is Stavros. Tonight on our screens is episode 2 of season 3, The Least Dangerous Game. And in our cups is the traditional pre-hunt beverage. Tell us about it, Stavros.
Well, I have a mimosa. That's just champagne and orange juice. I guess it must be maybe for the cranch species, it is kind of a pre-hunt sort of tradition, perhaps. But for here, we eat it, we drink it for brunch. So
yeah,
potato.
You know, or maybe it's just a Captain Freeman thing, and cranch just happened to be there.
That's right.
But you can never go wrong with orange juice and alcohol.
Yeah, I think I'm already on my. I've already had more than one, even before we recorded, because you know what? It's amazing and delicious. So
yes,
no
I
regrets.
as well have already had one mimosa.
Yeah, definitely just one.
Yeah, definitely just one.
Awkward.
Anyways, yes.
But yeah, let's actually, before we get into the episode, there are some other things happening this week that was kind of interesting and I think worth talking about. So the annual Star Trek Las Vegas convention happened, and I'm going to post these links in the episode description as well, but there is some kind of fun Lower Decks cosplay going on there.
Wait, is it cosplay or is it cosplay? Because it's like
cosplay,
short for costume,
cosplay,
right?
Yeah, however you want to say it, no judgments.
Oh, I'm silently judging you.
Okay, that it doesn't. You can't say silent when you're outwardly judging. That's not how that works. Anyway.
Well, I'm doing both.
Okay, both.
I am both outwardly and inwardly judging you.
Fair enough. But the first one is the fan dance Rutherford from the first season episode, where, if you recall, Rutherford has to do the fan dance while Shax steals the Romulan ship from the Vulcan Museum. So somebody did the fan dance Rutherford from that. Pretty amazing. The second one, which I think got a lot of internet attention, was somebody who did the...
No.
I know, the Shax Ta'ana naked time thing. So it's
wrong.
a bigger dude, and he has this like stuffed Dr. Ta'ana hugging onto him, and he's wearing like flesh-colored boxers, so it looks like he's naked.
I didn't need to see that, dude. You could have gone my whole
I think the internet
life without knowing that existed.
Well, now you did, and it's burned into your brain.
Apparently.
There's also a Matt the Beluga cosplay, as well as Badgie, and in the last link I posted, you can see that they were one of the finalists for the costume competition. I think the Badgie cosplay actually won, so there is that. But I thought the Beluga cosplay was pretty funny. Yeah. Did you have a favorite out of those?
No, all did a pretty good job. You can kind of like there's the costume contests at Vegas are always really, really good.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, this winning crowd, like, I'm not trying to trash on them because they're all, like, great costumes. But they're not, like, as diverse as they usually are, right?
Sure.
Like, you always see weird stuff, like the Deanna Troi as a cake costume won one year.
Yeah.
There's always people as Borg that come out that just do amazing work.
Totally.
When Into Darkness came out, like, there was one guy who did just a phenomenal job on the like main bad guy aliens in that episode.
Right.
Just such great stuff, talented people, putting the work in every year.
Definitely.
But yeah gotta love Badgie.
It was kind of surprising to see the Badgie costume, and it's pretty solid work. It's got to be hot in there too, man.
I can't even imagine. Hopefully they have some sort of cooling unit. It's large enough that they shouldn't have the room.
Yeah. So anyway, that was something fun, and like I said, you can check out the episode description for those links. And something else fun that came out over this last week, Variety posted a interview with what's his face, Boimler, the Boimler actor, Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid,
and,
Jesus man, what's his face? We're doing a podcast about the man's show, for Christ's sake.
I know.
Yeah,
I totally remember his
names is my bit. Come on, buddy, get on board here.
I'm infringing on your bit a little bit. I'm
you're
sorry.
The well-informed.
You can silently and outwardly, but
I'm the guy who forgets everything.
Anyway, in this interview, it's about a lot of different things. He's one of the key actors on The Boys, and and of course this show. But he talks a little bit about the Strange New Worlds Lower Decks crossover. And I'm sorry to say, he does tell everyone in this interview that it is not a Who Framed Roger Rabbit situation. There's no mix of live action and
come on, we all knew this
cartoon.
was coming.
Did we though?
I did. I think you're the only one. Who thought it was going to be a Roger Rabbit style encounter.
I was secretly hoping. Yeah. But no, they're going to be playing their own characters, which is kind of fun. So purple hair and everything.
Yeah, you know who I hope shows up in that episode? Is Cranch. We need to see a live action Cranch.
Do we though? Do we really need more Predator in the Star Trek universe?
You know what? Man, I just want to see that dude in live action. I mean, it would look amazing. Or could look amazing. So. It could also look like garbage.
Yeah, it could go either way.
Here's hoping.
But shall we talk about the least dangerous game?
No, I think we're done. I think we've covered enough.
Just end the episode now.
Yeah, we
that's
can
fine.
skip over.
Well, let me at least go into the synopsis of this episode. So, the least dangerous game. Well, Ransom, your boy Ransom, makes ineffective command decisions that annoy Mariner and put Billups and Rutherford in danger. Boimler decides he is now bold Boimler and agrees to be hunted by a predator-like alien.
You know, I know you said I could do a editorial pass on your synopsis if I wanted to. Yeah. And you know, I wanted to, but I read it and it was just so broken. I couldn't even. It was so wrong. Just throw the whole thing out. Ineffective command decisions. I'm sorry. Do they fix the space elevator? Yes. Do they save the people from the sentient volcano? What? Yes. Everything works out in the end. Mariner learns an important lesson. Ransom comes in at the final hour and saves the day. Yeah. Ransom knew what he was doing. He was right all along. Secondly, Boimler is being hunted not by a predator-like alien. That alien is a predator. It is
literally
alien that hunts. Yes.
Well, I was referring to the 1980s
Oh, you
Predator
mean,
films.
what
so
are they, the
Yatija
or Yacha or whatever they're called?
Something like that.
Yeah, do a little research next time, man.
Oh, dang. You're attacking my Predator research. I don't know how I feel about this. I have to silently and outwardly judge you for that one.
Yeah, judge my superiority. Me and Ransom looking down on you.
I do want to talk about Ransom. There's so much to talk about here. Let's actually go into how the episode starts off. We get the Martok cameo right up front. They are, of course, playing Batleths and Binuks, which I did a little internet research that translates as cowards, by the way. So
you don't just know Klingon
cowards.
off the top of your head?
No.
I was a little disappointed by this scene.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought it was going to lean more into the Klingon VCR game from back in the day.
Oh, yeah. In fact, that's what occurred to me first, too.
Yeah, well, even when they first showed this, that was I don't know if you remember us talking about the previews, and I'm like,
yeah,
this is totally going to be this kind of callback. Martok isn't actually going to be in the series. And I was right.
Yeah.
I was just a little disappointed.
There's no experienced beige.
Yeah, I was just a little disappointed that it was more, video D&D than it was... what is even
would
the name
would you
of
want?
that VCR game?
Yeah. I mean, we play D&D, and I don't know how I feel about having a computer-based dungeon master. That seems like it just is going to be a bad time.
Well, is it any different though than when the holodeck, whips up a program from a few keywords of input?
Yeah,
I feel like they've got the tech to do it, but we don't.
Yeah. How do you feel about if they're gonna? I mean, would they just might as well be on the holodeck? Instead of just playing,
there's something about a bunch of
Binuks.
people sitting around a table playing a board game. It's hard to really
doing a little,
get your little miniatures out. And...
Yeah, that's fun. I wonder why I wonder what the rationale is, because D&D, as we know, is kind of experiencing this renaissance right now. So I wonder if someone just was really into D&D on the production team, was like, let's just work in some D&D. And
well,
just
I mean,
the
it's
VCR
now,
board game just never came out.
It's kind of a part of the pop culture now. It's no longer this weird, creepy thing in the corner. So, and maybe they're setting up for some merchandising. You never know. I would play Batless and Binuks. Is it Binuks? Binuks?
Binuks? They never actually pronounce it in the show. So
alas,
there is that. Yeah. I know. I love the Martok cameo. His voice acting. It's so over the top that even the in-universe characters comment on it. That's how over the top the voice acting was.
I love two things about this whole scene. Tendy is like way too into it. Like her just first, yeah, and you're like, ah. And then, I swear to God, is Martok looking at the dice rolls? Like, I noticed it a couple of times where somebody would roll. Yeah. And he would, like, lean to that side of the screen. Which, I mean, it makes sense. They got the tech for it. It's just, it's a little unexpected and fantastic.
Yeah, there's a little more going on there besides just a video playback. It's very, very lifelike, where he's looking at the characters and the dice rolls and
probably
stuff.
Dynamically animating.
Yeah, totally. I love it. Well, let's see. Let's talk about Vendome getting promoted to captain, though.
WTF?
Did you recall who that was off the top of your head?
Like, no,
yeah, the bully guy.
I immediately was all like, wait a minute. Doesn't this guy just like constantly like spend entire episodes in peril? And I did. I had to go back and look it up, and I forgot.
Yeah.
He is the dude who F's up the Crystal Planet mission. Like, come on. All you had to do was bring a case with a crystal in it, but instead you brought some wood. Man, he spends an entire episode under a conference room table. You know what? I don't remember. I know he's like in the background of a lot of episodes, but yeah.
Now it's Captain Vendome, man.
Yeah, I do question that though, because I mean, like, I'm fairly certain he was an ensign, right? The last time we saw him.
I think so. Yeah, he just got
like
sped
last
promoted.
Season. Yeah, like he went from ensign to captain in like a few months.
Yeah.
What is this, Star Trek Online? Jesus.
It's weird. I mean, we only see him getting in these like bad situations, but obviously he's done good work that we haven't seen off screen or something.
Yeah, I think it's one of those right place, right time. Captain was dead. He just kind of took over. Nobody had the heart to demote him.
And how do you feel about him stacking his bridge crew with Bolians? We've seen this before. We've had the all Vulcan crew in DS9.
That was like an all Vulcan ship, so that kind of made sense, right?
Okay.
Like, it makes sense. It's probably built by Vulcans, and even though it's a part of Starfleet, whatever. But the whole, like, I'm captain now, so I'm replacing the entire senior staff with Bolians. I feel like there would be an admiral who would be like, yeah, that field promotion is gone. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it felt, little weird. Get it together, Vendome.
Well, I mean, maybe he has it together. Maybe he's just that good that nobody wants to challenge anything.
He's got the ins with the Admiralty, and
they're
just
they're all
whatever,
like,
just
well, in his first mission, he defeated an entire Borg armada. What are we gonna do?
Yeah, let him do whatever he wants with his bridge crew, apparently.
Anyway,
let's talk about Boimler's plot in this episode. So, Boimler, I'm a little disappointed that they're going back to like Boimler having confidence issues, kind of, or maybe he just wants to get promoted and he's not getting the opportunities that he wants. So he feels like he needs to take more risks and say yes to more opportunities. So this strongly reminded me of TNG's Tapestry, where Picard, in the alternate universe, just doesn't want.
I hate that episode. Why do you bring it up every chance you get?
Because more sort of fans like it.
I am an accomplished, veteran, and I'm learning life lessons that most people learn at 12. Like,
damn.
Come on. Picard.
Well, you know what? Boimler's learning the same lessons here, is he not? He needs to take risks. He needs to say yes to more things, try more things.
Yeah, that is very true. But he, in typical Boimler fashion, he goes way overboard.
It's true. I mean, to be fair though, it does end up in his favor. Like he says a lot of people are going to drop positive things to the captain and stuff. So maybe it's all worth it.
Got to get out there and rub elbows with the important people. Find those common connections. I do want to comment on something about this, though. Mm-hmm. I think Lundy is my new favorite character. And,
yes.
Like, his voice, like, is just amazing. That ridiculous accent. When they introduce him and he's all, like, looming in the shadows. We don't see more of him. I'm going to be disappointed.
He was great. He's one of the only enlisted ranked people I've seen on Lower Decks. We got a close up of his uniform. In this episode.
And that's what I'm assuming. That was what was going on there.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's hard to see exactly what's going on there, but It's not the usual rank pips.
Didn't we previously see him in like the transporter room? So I think they're going like a Chief O'Brien thing, you know?
Yeah. I think you're right.
I do want to pull it back around though to the creepiness. Like that creepy factor was just amazing. Like turned it up to 11. I know they kind of established that, no, even after like Boimler stopped being afraid of him, he still came off as creepy to me, right? I'm hoping this is like a Lon Suitor situation where it's going to turn out he's like a serial killer.
Yes.
Yeah, make that episode happen.
It's just waiting in the wings. He's getting more and more screen time, and now he's got lines and up front and interacting with the main characters. It's only a matter of time until something happens. Either he's going to get promoted to his own captaincy, or he's going to go all suitor on people.
Yeah, he's going to wind up murdering a bunch of people. I'm on board for this.
That's right.
I'd love to see that episode.
Yeah. What could go wrong? Yeah, besides murder.
A comedy. Ooh, they could do like a whole like a Clue style episode. Where at the end it turns out it's, Chief Lundy.
I'm on board.
Let's make it happen.
Oh, geez. So many fun references in this episode. There's TNG references all over the place in here. We got the Springball that Boimler gets involved in.
Well, Springball, I think, showed up all over the place. It was in TNG and DS9.
Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned the aliens, like, feeling like a TNG reference. And I swear to God, I have heard Delanians like being referenced and being like famous for their baths, but I don't know where that's from.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I'm going to assume that I'm wrong. That was the first thing I put in my notes when their name popped up. I'm like, oh yeah, Delanians famous for their baths.
Yeah, I did some research around it. I couldn't find any references to things, but who knows? Maybe you're right.
Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong.
But these Delanians very reminiscent of the Edo from the Wesley tripping into a flower bed episode.
The absurd death penalty episode happens way too often.
Yeah. And how do you feel about Billups having the Audi, and that's the reason why he's getting sentenced to death?
Well, I mean, I think that's just, the icing on the cake. I do wonder, though, because, isn't, your innie and Audi, it's all about how they cut the umbilical cord or something?
Is it? So, I don't know.
I feel like in the future there would be some sort of standardized laser cutting method or something. I don't know. I would think that wouldn't be an issue anymore.
Maybe on Billups' home planet, the royal people get the cord cut differently.
It does lead though to the best line in the entire series thus far,
which is
Rutherford's RB buttons are out and about. Oh man.
That was pretty great.
We just need to sell belly shirts with that on it.
I think they just need to sell the Lower Decks uniform with it's just torn off in the midriff, and and that's the cosplay.
Oh my god, cosplay. Terrible, absolutely bothered, absolutely awful.
Let's see, what else can we go to from here? Speaking of random other references, of course, we get the orbital lift skydiving we spoke to before on a previous episode. Very clearly a reference to the Star Trek 2009 skydiving onto the drill platform scene. So that was cool to see. What else? Did you notice, by the way, it's kind of a non sequitur here, but did you notice the quality of the animations? It's increased in this episode. There are a few scenes, especially I'm thinking of the ones where Tendi gets out of the shower and she's talking to Boimler. She does a lot of gestures.
I feel like people are they're a lot more animated, but not in the cartoony way we saw previously, where it's only for action scenes and it's always over the top animation. There's a lot more subtle animation now. But you brought up the Tendi towel scene, and this scene bothers me.
Oh,
and I'm going to tell you why. When she comes into the scene, she's drying her hair. Why?
From the sonic shower?
Is she drying her hair? It's a sonic shower. How did her hair get wet?
Are towels really needed too? Can't you just get dressed
you would
after
think
the
you
sound?
would be completely dry and clean. Come to think of it, would you even really need to take off your clothes?
Oh, I don't know. I guess you don't want the dirt getting sonicked off your body.
Maybe she wasn't sonic showering. Maybe she was in the pool or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and they have talked about going swimming in. Yeah. Is it just in Station Ops? Maybe she was swimming with Matt.
Yeah. She. Yeah. They mentioned going swimming in Cetacean Ops in a previous episode.
Right. Yeah,
a couple times.
So that's what I'm saying. Maybe she wasn't showering.
Yeah, that could be it.
Who knows? But yeah, there's that scene, and then there's the Ransom doing squats where like the butt animation. I mean, this is weird how it's like the towel scene.
The butt animation, though, the butt animation is totally a gag. Like, that's the only reason to do that.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, these are just evidence of some new animation. I feel like increased animation quality. There's a lot going on, especially in the Cranch chase sequences. We're seeing the characters do stuff that they haven't done in previous episodes. So it's nice to see the quality increase.
Speaking of Cranch, are we going to slide into that side or that A plot there?
Totally. Yeah, let's talk about Cranch a little bit.
Yeah, let's
What was your knee jerk?
I got several. So first off, when we first see Cranch, he's walking around the lounge, and he's wearing a helmet. Why is he wearing a helmet in the lounge? He doesn't wear it in the rest of the episode. He clearly doesn't need it. Why? Right. Why the helmet? Oh my god. And also, then he takes off the helmet, and there are now Turians in Star Trek, apparently. Why? Oh my god. I smell lawsuits incoming.
Oh, wow.
Do Turians like to hunt? Do I not remember Mass Effect that well? I mean, I don't
think to this degree.
I'm lost.
It's funny. We talked about it before, how McMahon has kind of described Cranch as a reverse Tosk. So you figure out Tosk from the DS9 episode, he wanted to be prey, but this guy, like, his whole identity is based upon.
Actually, I don't think Tosk really wanted to be prey. I think
didn't
that
he want to?
Well, yeah, but he felt he had to. Like, that was his purpose in life. And then, after he decides not to, the hunters show up and are like, yeah, we're just going to kill everybody. And then he's like, oh, I better go back to being hunted.
Right.
Or maybe I'm misremembering that episode. I don't know.
No, you're right. I mean, here I assume if you feel like you're going to be in the hunter situation from the start, you have a little bit more control over the situation. Whereas, if you're prey, then, what are you going to do? The hunter's going to come after you. So.
I love the voluntary nature of his hunties. He's just going around.
I know. He asks. Hey, he's so nice.
Hunted? You want to be hunted?
Yeah.
He asks a lot of people.
Hey, I got a
he's
hankering.
in the background talking to people to see if they want to be hunted. Everybody's like, nah.
Yeah. I know. Good on Boimler for stepping up and getting hunted.
I gotta say, this episode made me feel really dumb. Because the entire episode, I'm like, oh, how's he going to get out of this? How's he going to get out of this? There's no way he's going to be able to defeat this guy. And it's like, and I'm just like, well, they're not going to kill him off. And it never even occurred to me that, like, every last sign in the episode is pointing to the fact that it's catch and release. He's not actually going to kill anyone, I mean, even when the captain, he tells the captain, and she's all like, oh, yeah well, good, have fun with that. And, like, that should have been like, oh, she knows what's going on. He's not going to be killed. Nope, just never set into my brain. Apparently, I'm not as smart as I thought so.
I had the same problem where he catches up to Freeman. He's like, Captain, help me. And she's like, ha, ha, ha. And I was like, is she just letting Boimler get killed just for no reason?
God, I'm glad I'm not the only one that's dumb.
No, totally not. Definitely not. Yeah. It was fun. I love the selfie stick. Take a picture with your prey at the end. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, great. And one more for the boys back home.
One more for the boys. Boimler that spear, like, through his shoulder, that wasn't that far from like a spear through the heart. He would have had to do the Picard artificial heart situation there.
Oh man, they totally should have done that. It would have been amazing. And he could have always been talking about how he's just like Picard. He has an artificial heart now.
I know, yeah. Like, wow, that would have been great for him.
Yes.
That was great. And also, I also loved during the chase through Cetacean Ops, he just escapes through Cetacean Ops and just takes like a random Jeffries tube that just spits him out with a bunch of like water just into a random corridor.
Well, I mean, it's probably one of those where it's all like, not an airlock, but like a water lock. Is that what you call it? Or is it still an airlock?
Sure.
It's just, an airlock that goes to water rather than space. I don't know. Right. I'm not a space engineer. But the point is, it's probably like that. He probably just got in there, and it's supposed to, drain the water and replace it with air. Yeah. But since he's like, on the run, he jumps out.
Yeah.
I do love, though, that the belugas call him out on being a total drama magnet.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, Boimler always causing so much drama. He's a drama magnet.
I was hating on Cetacean Ops in the beginning, but it's growing on me.
Okay. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Anything else about Cranch, or should we continue on to your boy?
Well, Ransom. I want to move on to Ransom, but I just, once again, got to say, live action Crom Sapien, maybe in like Lower Decks. Not Lower Decks. This is Lower Decks. Maybe in like Strange New Worlds. They could have him, hunting Gorn or something.
Yeah,
it'd be a great episode.
I'd love it. Make it happen. Let's do. Let's have the Lower Decks guys talk to the Strange New Worlds guys and just make it happen.
Indeed.
Legitify that. Whatever the hell their species is called, Crom Sapioids.
Crom Sapioids.
Make them a real thing.
Sapiens. Supians.
But let's talk about your boy.
Yeah, Ransom.
He got so much screen time.
Saves the day. I do like.
He causes the problems.
I do like that this time they showed him to be fallible.
That's true.
You know, but here's the thing: was it really that wrong of him to try and give people a chance to, branch out and try new things? Especially
you're
with
right
such
there.
A friendly race. I mean, how could he have known they were going to turn out to be murderous psychopaths?
That's true. I mean, somebody didn't do their research, though, clearly. Like, if these people are known Federation either members or, people we interact with, someone's got to know that you don't show the Audi belly button, or else you're going to get murdered by their baby god.
Well, you know what? It probably never came up, I mean, how often are people hanging out with their belly buttons out? Do other alien races have innies and outies? I mean, have we ever even seen a Klingon belly button?
I don't know. I don't think so. Not that I can think of.
I bet we have, and we're just not remembering it.
I was worried, though, man. Like, luckily he came to his senses. And, talk about the last second, though. Jesus.
Worried about Ransom? He is all that is Starfleet. Come on, man.
You were right at first. Like, okay, people need to branch out. But, like, the second shit started to get real. I mean, come on, man. He should have gone down there much faster than he did. Instead, he's watching YouTube about how to do repairs on his pad.
I don't think that was YouTube. I think that was an instruction manual. Thank you.
Okay. It reminds me of me trying to fix my car by watching YouTube on my phone, or installing child car seats. Actually, is the most recent instance.
Wait, child car seats? Isn't that like a 3-step process?
You'd think that it was.
It's
that
like
easy.
You put it in place and you run the belts through the car seat. Like, isn't that it?
Sometimes. You know what? I'm not going to get into my capability or lack thereof about installing child car seats. Let's talk about Ransom here. But yeah, I'm glad he fessed up. At least he acknowledged his
fess up. He didn't
problems.
do anything wrong. He's just like, yeah, maybe I was a little too hard on you. You know what? But that's what she needs.
Yeah, she does need someone to keep her on the straight and narrow. That's true. He's doing what needs to be done.
Yeah, apparently he's doing good work. She hasn't been in the brig in, what did they say, weeks?
I know, yeah. He's getting it right. He's improving her. I also love how he, when he tears off his clothes and he is resolving the issue with these guys, he uses the same speech that he had with the crystal people.
The same speech. It's that that's his go-to diplomacy methodology. Tear off shirt, give speech about not being so different.
It's literally the same speech. Though we come from different worlds.
Definitely went to the Kirk School of Leadership. Diplomacy, yes.
Yeah. I love how this actually, it kind of legitimizes the command division people being the diplomats, which we haven't really seen outwardly said, aside from captains and first officers being the diplomat people that people go to. It's clearly, in this predicament, the command people needed to be resolving the diplomacy issue, and the engineers needed to be doing the engineering problem.
Yeah, but I didn't think... I mean, who would have guessed there was going to be a diplomacy problem? Literally...
You're right about that.
What were they even doing down there? They were just down there hobnobbing. It wasn't even, real diplomacy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, they're just hanging out by the pool. And going back to the ripping off clothes here, we're gonna have an uncomfortable conversation about Ransom.
The ripping off clothes.
Yes, because it was very obvious. And, the man works out, obviously. But do people wax their chests in the 24th century? It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people just like to be less hairy. What can they say?
That's true. He could be just naturally that way, too.
I understand
it was so
as
shiny.
a hirsute fellow who is one step from being a panda. You may not understand this, but...
yes.
Yeah, sometimes not having hairy bits all over your bits is kind of comfortable.
Yeah, I understand it's the way to go. I just I'm wondering, because right now, in modern times, it's harder to be a man in movies or whatever without waxing. So
they probably in the future have some sort of advanced hair removal process.
Oh,
super.
You think he's done the perma hair removal?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's possible.
God, this discussion has gotten super weird, dude. What are we doing right now? We're discussing a cartoon character's lack of hair.
You know, he's supposed to be so much like Riker, but Riker, you know, is much hairier than
well, originally though,
Ransom, so.
Riker wasn't. You know, I mean, literally growing the beard was named after him because
that's right.
The second he came into
that
his
is
own,
true.
He grew a beard.
Yeah.
So maybe Ransom's gonna grow a beard.
Yeah, he's gonna let the stubble become the full-on beard.
Indeed.
It adds some body hair in there. Anything else you want to say about this?
No, we need to. This conversation is taking a
Move
turn
on.
for the super weird. So let's focus on the wider scene.
Okay.
And the big question here that's on everyone's mind: why doesn't the psychic baby have legs?
Is there no legs? He doesn't have any legs.
No
in that
legs
shot?
whatsoever, and I don't know why.
What the
Like,
heck?
is it a reference to something? I get the whole like mind power and not needing legs or whatever, and
Right.
I don't know. It just seems very, very strange to me.
I did not notice that at all. I know he's being carried by someone, but I did not notice the lack of legs.
And I could be
We're gonna have to
wrong.
look
It
more
could
into
just be
this.
one of those things where like the angles make it look like he has no legs, but no, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, I did not see any
He
legs
just has
there.
no legs.
Yeah,
This
maybe
is
it's to
weird.
like parallel the computer or something because it doesn't have legs. But then why does the baby have arms? None of this scene makes any sense to me.
You got to be able to gesticulate, you know.
I don't think you do if you're psychic. I feel like you can talk directly to people's minds. I do love, though, the balance of power on the alien planet, because they in the previous episode mentioned all the evil robots that took over,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh,
And now
yeah.
this planet is being ran by a what do you call it?
Sentient volcano.
Well, the sentient volcano. I don't even think he's in charge. He's
computer.
just a thing that's there. It's the balancing
There's like the three
act.
branches of government.
Yeah, between the psychic baby and the sentient computer.
Yeah. You know what? And I'm sorry, going back to the baby for a second, I just called up the episode, and you're totally right. The baby has no legs, and it's weird as hell.
It's really weird. Like, I can even let the white hair go, because, like, that's, like, a trope of, psychic powers makes your hair go white for some reason. Although I just realized, like, everybody else in that scene also has white hair. Do all of those aliens have white hair?
I think so. It's like the Edo, where, like, they all have the similar color skin and hair for some reason.
Yeah, you're right. I can't tell if it's white or if it's more like it's all
It's like a
pretty
cream
white.
or white or something.
Yeah. Which that's another thing I noticed. And I don't know if this applies, but like most of these people that we see, for some reason their heads are slightly different colors than the rest of their body. Did you notice this?
No, I didn't.
That's
really crazy.
They don't wear a lot of clothes, right? So like it obviously can't be from, sun exposure. Like what's the deal there?
I don't know. Someone had a little issue in the animation.
I need
computer,
answers
maybe.
Here. I can accept a psychic baby
for you.
and a sentient computer and a sentient computer and a talking volcano running an alien planet, but people with two different skin cones,
That's bullshit.
Skin cones.
Skin cones.
Cone.
It makes no sense.
My disbelief
I understand.
only reaches so far. Okay.
I understand. They'll have to stew about it.
No, I think I'm just going to move on.
Okay. Do you have something else to talk about?
I actually do have one more thing I want to talk about, and this may just be me. And I don't know, because I didn't notice it in the last episode, but is it just me, or are the pylons on the Cerritos shorter?
I don't know. Speaking of the Cerritos, this is the first time in this season that we've seen the Cerritos with the hull plating back on. So maybe they've made some kind of changes, but I didn't notice the pylons being shorter. No, do they seem shorter to you?
They do. It's like every shot I see it in, and I don't know. Maybe like my aspect ratio is screwed up, so everything is shorter, and I just didn't notice it on anything but the Cerritos. But yeah, I don't know. It just looks different to me, and it kind of makes me feel like it looks a little bit better. Maybe it's just growing on me, but it feels like they're shorter. I
found one of the shots right now. It looks the same to me, but who knows? I know I have seen some things about some other changes, like the running lights on the left or on the port and starboard side of the ships have been fixed. But I mean, nothing is more drastic like changing the pylon length. So
yeah, I don't know. It definitely looks different to me. Because before they looked dangly, whereas now they just look more like an extension of the ship. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Interesting.
It's bothering me, and I can't get it out of my mind.
I can't tell. We need to get Thomas back on this show and talk about the ship, maybe.
Yeah, good luck at that. Over. After last time, I don't think he's ever coming back.
I don't blame him. Well, do you have anything else, or should we wrap things up here?
You know what? I could talk for hours about the weird stuff in this episode. And I was all like, it's just not as funny as previous episodes. And I realized it's not even that it's not as funny, because it's not as funny, but it's just full of weird stuff, you know? From, like, beginning to end. The weird legless psychic baby, you know? The alien...
You say I focus on weird details?
Skin tones.
Yeah.
Just, oh, man. The Cranch wearing a helmet indoors for no reason. So many questions.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't think
you know, some details just weird you out, some details weird me out. That's just how this thing goes. Well, you know what? I think we've said all we can, so...
Yeah, I am all out of OJ, so I think I'm going to have to make a run for the store. Of course, you can catch us again next week as we carry on noticing obscure, irrelevant details in episode 3 of season 3. Or, in the meantime, you can catch us on Twitter at Lower Dorks. Or you can join the hunt and chase a small, screaming man through dark corridors for fun.
Wait, is it me?